All right, guys, let's talk about the Clippers. So far, they are not good. 4-9 after losing to my Celtics. Harden almost went T-Mac late against my Celtics, but they were also down like 20-something in that game. We'll talk about it. Kawhi's played half the games. He's got an ankle injury. Beal, hip injuries are pretty brutal. Like, I do feel bad for him for that one. But they made a bet that him and John Collins could be better than Norm. Like, the initial trade was Collins for Norm, of course. Then they signed Beal, and Norm is just going crazy in Miami with their new offense. And pretty much right when I pressed record, Shams announced that Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be out for, at the minimum, 6 weeks with a sprained MCL after Jalen lost the ball and crashed into his leg in the Celtics game, so that's even more rough news for him. Did I mention that Harden has been great? He's doing what he can do for the offense. Defensively, they're just not as good as they were last year. Some of it's transition defense, some of it is guys are too open from three, some of it is a turnover problem combined with the transition defense problems. And my Celtics just benefited off of that transition defense stuff where, so many plays of like Jalen or Derek White or Pritchard or Jordan Walsh just getting free off of a miss, off of a turnover, whatever. You could also see that in the Nuggets game where, yes, Jokic scoring 55 and making basically every shot with single coverage on a good amount of those plays, going to like Zoo or Brook or even like Kobe Sanders. If you're on him, single coverage, good luck, at least on one of those Jokic baskets. But even within that, there were also like bad transition defense moments still, like Jokic hitting it to Christian Brown, like on a hit-ahead pass, and then just going in a dead sprint to beat Zoo. And then one got him a dunk, and then another time very similar to that, it forced Harden to pick him up on the ball, and then it's like, I think Christian Brown getting a wide-open layup, Hardaway got a wide-open transition three off of Christian Brown pushing it. Like, if you're already going to get torched by Jokic in the half court, then the only chance you've got, not give them easy stuff in transition as well. A somewhat similar thing in the Hawks game where, okay, this was their best defensive game recently, but Krejci was able to get, like 3 or 4 threes off of like a Harden turnover where there's like a miscommunication between, I want to say like Derrick Jones and Kobe Brown, and then Kobe Brown is closing out to him, but it's just like kind of slow. And yes, they have 2 Kobes. They got Kobe Brown, they got Kobe Sanders. And they also just kind of had Collins in hell where like he would have to switch onto Krejci, but he would think that somebody else is going to switch onto him, so then he's just making like a mad dash to close out to him or whatever. In the Celtics game, they lose Peyton Pritchard a number of times. Like him relocating with Collins or Harden being the guy that has to stick with him, or, him like pulling up on Bogey with Bogey like not really stepping up on the screen on him. There's been some pick and pops with like Porzingis or Luka Garza spacing out, and then Zubac isn't going out there because he's got to protect the basket, but then the closeout from wherever it's coming, Derrick Jones, Chris Dunn, Harden, either one of the Kobe's, Collins, like they're just not fast enough on these. So, okay, up to attempt to make some optimistic takes about this defense, which again was great last season, right? Teams have been shooting better from above the break than you would probably expect, and they're also not giving up that many corner threes, so that math would suggest in time the three-point stuff will level out some. And there's 1 3 they gave up recently that summed it up for me. You can find a good amount of these in those back-to-back Suns losses they had, but one where they leave Royce O'Neal wide open on the opposite wing from Book as Cam Christie and Brook Lopez just load up on Book, and it becomes Collins closing out to Royce from the corner. He makes the 3. He looks comfortable the whole time. Royce has also just been a better shooter than his career, where he was already not bad for most of his career of the past 2 seasons. But the Clippers are probably telling themselves, hey, if we keep giving up that type of a 3, eventually the math will fall in our favor some. What I would say from watching a good amount of these, and you could see them in the Celtics game as well, the closeouts have to be better. And it gets even more rough after the Derrick Jones Jr. injury, because obviously it takes a defender off the board for him, but also, if you really dove into the lineup stuff this early on, which, yeah, it's like very small stuff, but there were good numbers in there with like Zoo, Harden, Kawhi, Jones, and Dunn, the lineup from last year. But also if you replaced Dunn with Collins, those minutes have been good too. Again, it's very, very small so far, but with Jones out now, it just gets tougher. It's Kawhi, man. I know it's an ankle injury right now, but realistically, like how many games can we expect Kawhi to play? Now, when he plays, we know what to expect. It's going to be the fadeaways and the pull-ups and just the bodying guys out of the way to get to his free throw line jumpers and the whole thing. He's already made 1 buzzer beater this year, but we'll just see how much he's really playing. And of course, he can help the defense. Yeah, you can't just put him on the opposing team's best player and also ask him to do everything on offense at this age, but you can ask him to do that for stretches of games, and he'll still be a very good team defender for you. And part of the reason they got Collins was so it could take Kawhi off of some of the bigger bodies that he'd have to guard, right? Well, again, you haven't been able to see those lineups too much. This season, 74 minutes with Kawhi and John Collins. Now, the offense is not good in those minutes, but the defense is, and right now, they will just take that. Because, as far as the offense goes, I do think the late stretch against the Hawks is pretty telling, where the Hawks, they just started putting 2 to the ball on Harden, Dyson, Jalen, Porzingis, whoever. Then it's like Chris Dunn 3, Derek Jones has to try to make something happen in the middle of the floor. Zoo's getting like multiple bodies on him in the post. Like it's just going to be tough without Kawhi. And yeah, they got through it last season. He played 37 games, you know what I mean. But they were great defensively, and also just it might be kind of tough to do that 2 years in a row. Now, I do think they could just be better than this, but we'll see. I mean, of course, draft pick-wise, they got nothing. We know the situation of this team. They just got to be good. And by the way, if they continue to suck and the Thunder get another lottery pick, like, just good luck, NBA. And that draft pick situation makes finding trades for them pretty difficult. Even if you want to get into that stuff, like, they got to turn it around with this team first. I mean, we still got to wait really like a month until trade season kind of begins. Anyway, they play Philly tonight. Maybe this is a reverse jinx for them. Other thing, Chris Paul. Can we retroactively do the Chris Paul retirement tour? Because this is probably it, man. He hasn't played in like 7 games. Anyway, that's about it for me, guys. And also, we didn't forget about the tree stuff. We just got to wait a while for that.